Another little tip I'd like to give you. It's like sometimes people want to know, oh, by the way, you need a UV filter if you're shooting outside. It's very good to have a UV filter at the end. And one of those questions is with the circular polarizer, the UV lens that I need. It's like, how do I know what size to get? They come in different sizes. It's on your camera. If you'll take your camera and you look right at the part where the lens is, which we don't want to touch, be sure. But when I look inside around that ring on the inside of my camera there, I'll find usually the number will be, let's say 52 millimeter or something like that, maybe 72 millimeter. That's the size that you want to go for when you're shopping, okay? Lastly, on the circular polarizer or any polarizer, they're not for people. You'll find that people don't usually want to be saturated in colors. It's like as far as that. It's not good on flesh tones. So I advise use it for landscapes and objects, but don't be using polarizers on the skin. It's not that flattering. Last tip I'd like to give you today is your viewpoint, part of your style, another piece of your style, let's put it that way, and who you are and telling your story. As a photographer, I always believe in capturing not just the object and just a picture, but let's get an emotion, a feeling out of that. Why do you think we're so drawn to photos? We get feelings out of it. It makes us feel good, it makes us feel sad, it makes us feel lonely, it makes us feel a little empty, it makes us feel full, it makes me feel rich. We have all these different emotions, and this is where you come in, and on one more piece, something that can help you take a better photograph. Let's take, for instance, you're shooting a basketball. We've all seen what a basketball looks like when we set it on the ground, and we usually see it from an angle, out over there, down here. Not too many times do we actually see the basketball on the ground and look straight over top of it. Not too often, okay? So it's a little less normal from seeing it right over top of it. We're not usually doing that. Let's take this another little bit further. How many times do we see the basketball from its viewpoint while it's on the ground? When the ground's like this and your basketball's sitting on top, when we see it, how often do we really see it from the bottom up? You know, a mouse has a great view of that, okay? So there's another thing. Get down on the ground and photograph it from the ground. Give another viewpoint. Find other viewpoints, the way the light hits on it, the different ways. Sometimes maybe it's all lit up, maybe there's no light, maybe there's a little bit of light, maybe it's just a tiny bit of light hitting it. From your viewpoint, that's one of the wonderful things about that. What's behind the basketball that you want in the photo? What's behind there you don't want in the photograph? Remember how we talked about using your aperture? We can use these things. It's like find your view, find your part and your story and what you want to tell. And GoPro Photographer, the course will be there to help you discover your style and learn all the techniques and tips that you need. I was born and raised in Kentucky. I was in the music business. I was a music major in college. And I went and studied after years of wandering around, I was looking for a new career. And I went to look in the paper and found a little ad for a community college in Santa Monica, and I took one course. It was a basics on photographing people. I took that one course one night a week for 6 weeks, 3 hours each class, and that was it. And that was all of my training, and I was off and going. My story in short is, the fact is I came in with knowing nothing. I never owned a camera in my life. Till 1997, I bought my first camera. I enrolled in that one little course at the community college, took it for that night. And that was the beginning of my career. It's like I started running ads in paper. I started looking and figuring out what to do, researching. I read photography magazines. I got all the information I could get, and I started doing it. I just did it. Instead of trying to wait for everything to come to me and having everything perfect, I learned how to cut costs. I learned how to make things work in cheaper ways. I learned to use my resources, things I was able to find, and make a lot of great things happen, for my career. And as you know, as you can tell if you've been to the website, I became a celebrity photographer within 1 year after owning my very first camera. It was amazing. I never even thought about doing that. But it was just because I decided I'm going to be a photographer. And I took that just a little course that gave me a lot less information than what you're going to get in this video today. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn a lot of great things. We're going to cover some key components, things to know about your camera and lenses and how to get the most of it. We're going to talk about discovering your light sources, knowing them and using them to your advantage. We're going to apply studio lighting and natural lighting. And we're going to also talk about how to give good direction and working with great people. We're We're also going to talk about how to give good direction when working with people. We're also going to talk about the business of photography and marketing and promotion. These things are all going to be very helpful. I will help you discover your style, plus strengthen your credibility by learning from me, a Hollywood celebrity photographer. I'm going to show you how to take great shots, save a whole lot of money while increasing your profits. Whether you want to photograph people, animals, fine art, or want to be a pro photographer, or just be able to take great photos, you're going to learn what you need to know that will truly advance your skills with GoPro Photographer. As a professional photographer, I have had the opportunity to touch the lives of other people and improve the quality of my own life through my photos. I've created a thriving business simply by following my passion. Signing up for GoPro Photographer is taking the first step in achieving this for yourself. Before I got started, I took one basic photography class, and in years' time I was in the Hollywood homes of celebrities, photographing them for magazine covers and promotions. I created GoPro Photographer to give you 95% more information than I started with and to put you on the fast track to success. GoPro Photographer will not only save you a lot of time and money, it will give you the essential tools that you need in order to start taking great photos and making money. I believe that anyone can be a great photographer if they have the passion and the knowledge to do so. I also feel strongly that this information does not have to cost thousands of dollars and that everyone should be able to afford the cost. There are many less than par courses on the market today that cost many times the cost that GoPro Photographer does. I've created GoPro Photographer, the ultimate experience in learning photography, at a price that everyone who wants to follow the dream can afford. I encourage you to sign up today and embark on the journey of a lifetime.